Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
What is your destiny, sister? What is your destiny? I had this conversation with my therapist, Daniel, today. Now, my husband and I actually see him together, but I saw Daniel solo today for the first time ever, for this reason, which I'll be completely raw and real with you about. I am feeling very, I'm going to use the fucking word, lost. I'm feeling there's been a series of events kind of like leading up to this. One was, if you listen to the podcast for a little bit of time, more recent episodes, I've had a lot of different injuries from boxing, and then had another injury where I was supposed to be having my first tournament in October, and then it was supposed to be February, and then here in June, and I either didn't have an opponent for the first one, or the second two I had injuries, and I'm just like, there is a message that's being shown to me that I should not be competing. Like, it literally just kept coming down to this. I'm like, how many more times am I going to get ready to train and this is going to come up? Now, you might not understand that. It might appear like I'm like bowing out or something, and that's totally fine, but I know what the truth is, and this is what is coming to me. And so having to do that, and then had my right calf swell up, and actually pretty much from like my knee on down so badly for probably about 5 days till I need to really get this checked now, because it's not getting better. Like, literally felt like the inside of my leg was gonna burst outside of my, like some like cartoon image of like everything just like blows up. That's what it felt like. The swelling was so intense, could barely even wear a shoe on that right foot. Went to a walk-in clinic, and they go, you need to go to emergency now. Thought it was a blood clot. Then it wasn't 24 hours later. There's just been a lot of stuff with my husband's health and his business. Like, it's just like, fuck. 2018 has been a challenge, to say the least. Challenge. It's been fucking tough. And I look back on Women Wanting More, and from when this podcast was first launched almost 3 years ago, and I take a look at the number of women that listen to the podcast, which is extraordinary, and I'm thankful. But yet there's this feeling inside of me, and the women that have come through some of my live events, my smaller group live events, and some that have like bought programs, and I'm literally looking at all this, and I'm like, you know what? For what? For what? And I'm coming up on episode number... Actually, this is it. This is going to be episode number 500. Interesting enough, I remember thinking like, man, 500 episodes, that's going to be so exciting. Straight up, sister, honest, I don't feel anything. 2 million downloads by the end of June this year. Okay. I'm not pumped about it. It doesn't feel like anything. And I'm tired. And you know, this feeling inside of me, if you have some message to give Karen, and it's outside of chiropractic, because I was in practice for 14, 15 years. Never would have seen myself ever leaving chiropractic, like ever. I would make fun of people who are just like, oh, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, he's doing real estate now? What a fucking asshole. Like somehow this chiropractic is something that, you know, go to school for like 6 to 8 years of your life, invest $150K in your education. Like somehow you'll try it out. It's like you don't never hear that in medicine. Like, oh yeah, he was a doctor, but you know, now he's you know, I don't know, working at a gas station, or selling real estate, or doing something. It's like, no, this is like chosen profession, like rest of your life kind of thing. That's how I saw chiropractic. So 6 years ago, when I started to feel this voice inside of me of like, you have something to speak, and start to blog, and then video blog, and then podcast number 1, podcast number 2, which is the one I listen to right now, and then it dwelled into coaching, like first live events, and then virtual coaching and programs, and I'm fucking tired. And I feel that there are still so many of you, and this might cut you right now, but straight up, you're always going to get the truth from me, sister. Just so much fucking talk and never fucking execute. Say you're going to do stuff, and in the immortal words of Gary Vaynerchuk, it's like, fuck, you're gonna. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Fuck, you're gonna. And women that have paid me and some a lot of money to coach with me and just completely fall off the wagon and do not continue. And listen, I understand, like, this is never going to be anything. There were some people, you know, they find a path, they find things that work, and some are going to fall off track, and some will not think that they're worthy, and they'll start fucking it up, and they'll just, like, you know, or they'll have a life circumstance and they're not really that grounded, and then they allow themselves to get pulled off center, and then they forget the things they want, or, you know, they stop doing work. Like, all of these things is going to allow some of the women that follow me, coach with me, or continue to coach with me, to fall off track. And listen, we're all going to drift sometimes, right? Like, this is going to happen, but, like, I'm tired of it. I'm really fucking tired of it. And it's like watching people go through these slow train wrecks over and over and over. And, like, and listen, this is not to say that I have all the answers. This is not come from a place of ego or like, why didn't you listen to what I told you to do? Or like, none of that shit, right? Everybody has their own path. But it's like, when with what I do as a mentor is to help people to find their way. I don't show you the way. I'm helping you to figure it out. And you're like, here's the way. It's like, follow the yellow brick road. And then they go, yeah, but how about this brown one? Or, I don't think that really works anymore. Or, you know, here's the reason why I can't keep going down the yellow brick road. It's like, fuck. It's hard. It's hard. It's, you know, and these are women that I care about. I love. Some that have come to live events, and I'm just like, it is difficult to see that happening again and again and again and again. And it's left me feeling really lost. It's left me wondering if what I do matters. And I know some of you might reach out and go, oh no, but I've done this. And that, like, that's so lovely. Just so you know, I'm not sharing this with you because I need your support. So please understand that there is a distinction here. So when some of you think that you got to lift me up and stuff, just know, like, that shit pisses me off. This is not why I'm sharing this. I have my own coaches. I have my therapist. I have good friends that I will reach out to when I need that, and that guide me and support me. And I appreciate those of you that feel that you need to do it, but no, thank you, please. I honor you, sister, but not that way. Like, that does not fly with me. But I share this with you because there's some of you that are going through some stuff right now in your life too, where you too feel jaded. And it could be it's a relation to where things are in your marriage, or, you know, with your children, or with your business, or with your health. And you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. And it's been a continuing kind of feeling that's almost kind of like been growing the last couple months, where I'm just like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And so I reached out to our therapist, Daniel, and I said, Daniel, can I meet with you just one-on-one? Like, I just really need to talk to somebody. And it needs to not be a friend or my husband, or just someone I know who I trust and respect, and who will give me the straight up truth, right? And he just goes, Karen. And we talked about motherhood. We talked a lot about business stuff. And he's like, you know, you have this energy about it. Like, you need to be in front of women. I'm like, I know. Like, I love doing live events. I love it. But I said, listen, Daniel, I go, dude, it is such a grind to get women out to events. And I know some of you said, like, oh, one day I'm gonna. No, you never will. And for lots of different reasons. And you might say it's money and it's time and it's like, no. And the thing is I know that some of you will never come out to live events, and that's okay, right? That's okay. But as far as how much time and energy and money that I've invested in, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching, personal coaching, business coaching, strategy, like you name it kind of thing. There definitely is a point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. This is just not worth it. Like, this is way too fucking hard. And I do hard. Like, I am not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of a challenge. This is my life all the time. Like, this is what I choose. I don't look for the easy path. But sister, it's fucking exhausting. This many years of this. So Daniel says to me this, right? And I just said, look, I go, without this feeling kind of like weird, I said, this does really feel like speaking and being in front of, I mean, I love listening to podcasts, and this is how so many of you really like find me and find this message, right? Or you've attended a webinar, or you've followed me on Facebook or Instagram, and like, that's cool, right? But he goes, listen, it's like, there's a different energy when it's like, when you're in person, there's something really special there, and you need to be in front of like women. I'm like, I know, Daniel. I go, I literally do feel like it is my destiny. And I feel it. I feel it when I speak. I feel it when I've run live events. But yet it doesn't just work that way, where women will just kind of be there in a hotel room, 15 of you, 50, 500 of you, you've all paid, you've all squared the time away, like you've invested your time, energy, money. Yes, money. I don't do this shit for free. This podcast is free. You get lots of stuff for free. But there's a value for what I provide and who I am, and I'm not willing to fucking cheapen it anymore. And some of you are going to hear this and you're like, oh, she's only about the money. That's okay. You know what, sister? I love you, but I don't give a fuck. Because I know what the truth is for me. I do. I know what my value is. I know that I'm worthy. I know I'm worthy of it. I know that women that have invested to coach with me will say like, the amount that I paid would have paid 10 times over that with the value I got back and what I discovered about myself. But the thing is, it doesn't work that way. I am the one who's doing the promoting, even with the team and stuff. It's still just like, and this is again, working with coaches, like, how do I change the messaging? How do I reach women? How do I connect? How do I get you to help see how, and it's been like knock down again, back up, knock down again, back up, knock down again, back up. There gets to a point where you just kind of feel like, you know what? Maybe I'm just supposed to stay down. Maybe I'll just fucking write a book and you can all just buy the cheap ass book and just do that. Because I know that I want to impact you more significantly than a book. Believe me, the podcast is not so I can again, notches in my belt of, look how many downloads, how many women listen to podcasts, or how many episodes. Because as I just shared with you earlier, that's going to be empty after a certain period of time, right? It's like chasing the money. Like, if you only make it about the money, there's nothing wrong with having money, and you can love money, and money's a beautiful thing. And you should have it, and lots of it. But it can't be about that. Do you get that? So although I might take a look, I'm like, wow, 5,000 women listen to podcasts today, or 10,000, or 3,500 today. And, right now an average of about, it's anywhere from the high 2,000s, 2,800 to 5,000 plus. Phenomenal. In the land of podcasts, without me being a celebrity, that kind of thing, that's a significant amount of downloads. That's a lot. But yet there's this feeling of that and knowing that this is my destiny, but how do I get to that place? Because the honest truth is, I'm not really willing to give up. I can't. It's just simply not who I am. I can't play small. I did that for a number of years. I'm not willing to do that any longer. So, what Daniel has suggested to me, and I've been feeling this for a while then too, he's like, what if you just kind of took the summer off, still be doing your podcasts and still be producing stuff, but you just take a break. You just recharge and figure this out, And he's right, and I've been feeling that. But sister, understand, literally since the age of 8, I've not stopped working. That might sound silly to you, but at 8, I started babysitting. I paper routes. I used to deliver flyers. I would sell shit. I had my first job, job, if you will, when I was 13, working at a drugstore. They paid me cash. I've worked in retail, you name it, I've done it, nonstop. nonstop. Because I'm a producer, it's who I am. It's what I love. But yet I know that I'm destined to be speaking to large groups. Like I really do. I not just see it and feel it, like I know it. I know it. And so I know there's something for you, sister, that you see as your destiny too, but you are holding back. This is your more tip for today. What are you designed to do? Listen, don't have to go to the place of like, this is what God wants for me, or this is what like I'm supposed to do. Like just something that you just feel and know in your heart. You don't have to figure out how to do it. You don't have to, know why it's supposed to happen. Like it's this feeling that you have about something. Like journal that, really, to see that insight. Your life is too fucking short. I just saw online today that Kate Spade, 55 years old, you would know, Kate Spade, huge fashion brand. She just sold it, something like $2.4 billion, and then opened up another company that's like all handbags. That's what Kate Spade started with was handbags. And she committed suicide. She hung herself at the age of 55. Husband, 13-year-old daughter. Life is short. It's meant to be like so beautiful and deep and vast. And there's greatness inherent in all of us, sister, like all of us. And there is a rumbling, and there's a voice inside that is urging you, moving you, nudging you, screaming at you, and you're not moving. Because you think it's later, because you think that you're not worthy, because you think that it's not time yet. And I'm telling you right now, you can make it happen if you want to. But you have to first be honest in what that is. So that's your more tip, and journal that and really see what you see what comes up from that. Sister, if this episode has been of value of you, I want you to share this with at least one woman that you know that needs to hear this message today. At least one. Post it up on Facebook, share it on Instagram. Text it to a friend. Hey, listen to this episode today. And I want you to make sure to subscribe to the Woman Wanting More newsletter. You need to remain VIP access. There'll be a live event coming up sometime later this year. I don't know what it's going to be yet, and at least one. And if you want to be a piece of it, if you want to hear about it, if you want to make sure that you are in the know with everything Women Wanting More, and I'm going to send you some really cool gifts as a piece of that too, then right now I want you to go to drkarenosborn.com/action guide, because I'm going to also send the more for, which is how to start your day in power. And you'll be in, sister. So there you go. That's it. I will talk on the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.